Hey YouTube, it's Wishy here, coming at you with some more strategy games with AoE 3DE, and we have a brand new update number 20322. So we are live streaming right now at Widgie1, so if you want to check me out in the future, please feel free to check out my Twitch channel. So without further ado, let's run through this update and let's have a look at the juicy bits in particular. So here we go, updates. Hello, good day and happy March, Trailblazers. Okay, this month's release. Okay, so we've got some big sort of UI updates with the attack range indicator for your units, which is awesome. And a resource per minute icon can be toggled and displayed in the UI. That's interesting, you know. I don't know if I'd ever use that. I honestly don't know if I'd ever use a resource per minute toggle, to be honest. But, you know, civ flags are now displayed. That's so good. That's really, really good. They should have done that straight from the start in my eyes. But anyway, let's move down and we'll actually run through it all together. So here we go, resources per minute. So I don't know if I'm actually going to have this on, to be honest. Yeah, I just love this. Nothing else to say about it really is. I just really, really like it. I think it's very similar to, I believe, I'm trying to think of other games that do this. I think StarCraft does this with the range. I just think it's really good. Just so you can also poke a lot better as skirmishers. Poking is a well-known strategy, and this will really help you with that. So I'm on board with that. It says you can show the radius when you hover over a unit, selecting it, and also holding Alt when a group of units is selected. That's actually quite good. So you're moving around a unit, you can just hold that Alt down, and you'll be able to see their range. But I wonder if you've got multiple units selected, will it have like multiple ranges? We'll have to check that out in the game. Any or all or none of the options can be toggled. That's really, really good. That's awesome. So you can choose what one you want, whether you want it hovering over. To be honest, for me, I would just probably have these two. So just selecting a unit and holding Alt will probably be it for me, to be honest. Player civilization flags. This is something that, to be honest, they should have had straight from the start. It just makes it so much easier, so you don't have to keep going to the top right, looking at the diplomacy section or wherever it is, and then looking at it and going, right, okay, that guy's that civ, that guy's this civ. Having that right there at the top is absolutely awesome. Game stability and performance, animation calculations, minor adjustments to the appearance of water, GPU performance improvements on low-end hardware. That's really good for people with low-end machines. So, you know, we can try and bring back more people to the game, because that was one of the big things, is that people were struggling to play the game with the frames per second and stuff like that. So that's good. I'm on board with that. Okay, so just a lot of stuff here. Civilizations will no longer vanish from the selection UI if a save time city is corrupt. Okay, so nothing too... just fixing crashes and issues and stuff like that. Achievements. The Alliance achievement can now be earned by completing the stated objectives. We need more wood, or the Animal Hunter achievement now display the correct progress. Okay. Graphics. Improve the rendering speed of the main menu. Okay. Disable the contact shadows of grass. Okay, nothing too game changing there. The audio, the Japanese civilization jingle now plays when intended. Okay, cool. The fireworks upgrade in the Chinese home city have been enhanced. Okay. The UI, okay, so they've added 40 new profile images to the weekly profile rotation. Here's a sample. Wow, 40. Damn, they are really churning out these profile pictures. Now let's dive into the bulk of the UI changes. Here we go. Strap yourselves in. Added a new interface which supports cross-platform invites to multiplayer games. Okay, you can now. That's actually really good. Cross-platform invites. That's really good, because I completely forgot about the fact that this game is actually on Xbox as well. So I don't know how many people actually do play this on Xbox, but okay. You can now whisper other users via the context menu in the lobby or during a game. That's really good. That's very similar to like Battle.net. Do this, or Battle.net, sorry, do this, so you can chat to someone who's on a completely different game whilst you're in your game. I like that idea, and they've sort of incorporated that with Age of Empires 3, so that's awesome. Added messaging and iconography, I can't even say that, to the mods menu to denote when mods are in need of updates or maintenance. More details about this can be found in the modding section. Okay. Add in some more compendium text for the Nizam Fusilier. Added some more text for the tribal marketplace. Okay. Updated the history section of the Takala soldier. Okay. Right. Yeah. I'm just seeing if there's anything that's game-changing or really, really, really good. Updating the Bombard Brawl Challenge. The search and cancel buttons on the ranked menu will no longer appear cropped when hovering over them with the mouse. Updated the tooltip text of the Urumi to explain their idle hit point generation. Okay. Fixed to string reference. Okay. Nothing too crazy there. Additional context has been added to the technology tree for text with home city card prerequisites. Okay. Other updates to the tech tree. Okay. Move the Bastion technology move the Bastion technology from age 2 to 3 to reflect recent balance changes. Okay, hotkeys. Added a hotkey for sending flares. Oh, this is good. I think that means flaring on the map and stuff. Added a hotkey for it. Default is Alt left mouse. Oh, that's really good. I like that. And enter flare mode, which is Alt F. Unbound in legacy mode. Wow, that's really good. That's actually nice. So you just hold down the Alt and then left click on the map and it will just flare. Rather than having to quickly click that flare button and then click the map. I like that. That's really, really good. Gameplay. So the Bombard Brawl Challenge can no longer be started while the game is offline. Okay. Some fixes. Fixed an issue where bombards. Okay. Control group selection is now disabled when the delete units or building confirmation dialog is open to prevent the deletion of the wrong units. Okay, that's very helpful. I need to actually rebind my keys so that I can do that, so I can get my better wall placement. So I need to remember to do that when I get into the game. Okay, some campaign mission things here. Yeah, not too much of an issue. Here we go. Right, let's have a little break. Let's have a sip of the drink. Civ balance. Okay. All right. Righty. Here we go. Rolling the sleeves. Roll them up. Rolling the sleeves up for Civ balance. Here we go. So what are we expecting? Hey, Alex, can't wait for my Sweden nerfs. Yeah, strap yourselves in. Here we go. Right. Civ balances. So what are we anticipating? Before we do this, what are we thinking? We're thinking that there's going to be something to Sweden, as Alex has just mentioned. Something to Sweden. We're going to have potentially something to Lakota as well, because I think Lakota are kind of crazy right now. But we'll see. Let's do it. Okay. So the large number of changes are targeted at supremacy game mode, just as many aim to smooth out imbalances between civs in the late game. Right, here we go. General, half crates. Fixed an issue which would prevent idle villagers from collecting half crates. That's actually really good, because I think they automatically start collecting crates and stuff. So I don't know, that might be quite a good thing. Especially collecting your teammates' crates accidentally as well. Units and buildings. Church and mosque. Reduced construction time from 25 to 20 seconds. Okay. Interesting. Lenaro, the Grand Columbia Revolution, now properly tagged as hand cavalry. Okay. Several adjustments have been made to the native scout. Right. Now have a build limit of 5. Get wrecked. I know someone called Celine, and that's all she does. She does. I remember this native scout cheese where you could just build tons of native scouts, and because of the type of unit, you can't actually really counter it. So you could just mass native scouts, and they'd actually do really well against any army. And it was ridiculous. Now you have a build limit of 5. So that has dealt with that issue. You can no longer do that. The Advanced Scouts 3, the Age 3 card now, in addition to its previous benefits, grants plus 20 to their build limit. Ah, right, okay. So you can still sort of do it, but you'll only be able to have maybe, 25 native scouts maximum. Okay. Upgrade, Spirit Medicine. Now properly improves the native villagers' spear attack. Okay. Cards, Advanced Dock. Fix the bug where European and native docks would only gain plus 50% bonus damage, while Asian docks gain the full 100% bonus damage. All docks are now properly granted 100% bonus damage by the upgrade. Okay, cool. Yep. No real issue there. I mean, that's obviously a buff for the European and native docks. I don't know whether that was a bug or not, or whether that is just a straight buff. Native warrior combat has now moved to age 2. Oh wow, okay. But they've lowered the attack and health bonus granted to it from 20% to 15%. Okay. Interesting. Team Native Warrior is age 1. What? Crazy. Okay. So potential more age 2 play then, potentially, if you've got that upgrade. I don't know. I don't know what impact that's going to have, but it is sort of nerfing it, but it's making it available in age 2, so you've got to think about it. Could be something quite good to use in age 2 potentially. Okay, the Aztecs are... Now the Aztecs, if you don't know, are like my first main squeeze. I really enjoy playing the Aztecs, and I do want to return to them at some point. So let's have a look and see what's going on here. So near the top of the 1v1 rank ladder are the Aztecs. You have maintained a high win percentage since launch. Really? Hang on a minute. I thought they were trash. Near the top are the Aztecs. You have maintained a high win percentage since launch. At the heart of their success is an overwhelming reliance on the messenger council member to quickly advance to the commerce age. Yeah, of course, being able to rush, of course. Hey, Kartoffel Joe. Domino's age 3 and 155 would make sense for... Okay, right, don't tell me. I haven't seen that yet. Okay, the following changes aim to encourage more variety in early Aztec gameplay while granting greater strategic flexibility later on, as it now should be more desirable to select other council members and save the messenger for later in game. Okay. So Civ, the following tribal council members now take 70 seconds to advance from age 1 to age 2, reduced from 90. Ah, okay, so they're making more of the other age ups more viable by essentially making it quicker to age up. Got ya. From 90 to 70, that's big. That's big. The Wise Woman, 1 farm travois, 10% farm and estate gatherings. Okay, yeah, we know those. Units and buildings, Puma Spearman, reduce siege damage. Okay, that's quite good. That means it's not going to be as viable to use them to rush in age 2 because of their siege ability, but still good. Okay, right. You can't, stop spoiling it for me, okay? Because people are going to be watching this, all right? Don't spoil it for Alex. I haven't seen any of those yet. I'm just starting on Aztec for Civ balances. So just hold your horses, Joe. Hold your horses. Right. So Coyote Runner, increase hit points from 150 to 155. Okay, that's a very sort of minimal increase there, but still a buff nonetheless. Cards, reduce the cost of all H3 temple cards from 1,000 to 500 coin and reduce the number of units granted by each. Okay, interesting. But that's still an overall buff though. So reduce the number of the Slinger's Dispatch from 18 to 12. So they've only reduced it by 50%. Oh, but they have reduced that by 50%. Okay. Actually, no, they haven't, sorry. 50% would be to 9. So this is actually a buff. So you're halving the resources, but you're only reducing it by a third. So that's actually a buff overall. The temple as well, reduce the number of Coyote Runners. Once again, just a very, very slight benefit there. So it's only 500 coin. I mean, I'm thinking in my head here some sort of like age 3 rush where you where you really focus on getting a lot of coin, and you just pumping out these units like super hard. Like you focus on your gold, you can start pumping all these units out. I don't know. There could be something there. Who the hell knows? Okay. So the Temple of Solotl support reduce the number of villagers dispatched from 10 to 8. But look at that though. Only cost you 500 coin to get 8 vills. That's nuts. I don't know. I think that's still like a buff overall. Crazy. I think Aztec has a buff overall, I think. Yes, the siege damage is reduced, but they haven't nerfed the messenger. They haven't nerfed the messenger. They've buffed the other 4 civ options. So if anything, Aztec have got a buff here, I think, overall. Several adjustments have also been made to the age 4 temple cards. Okay, so there's a bit of a drop here. 15% attack rather than the 25. And the Great Temple of, I'm not even pronouncing that, now also increases the speed of Skull Knights. So that's quite good, because they always moaned that Skull Knights were slow. So that potentially could be quite impactful. Additional card changes. Smoking Mirror reduces speed bonus granted. Okay. The Great Chinampa has now an age 4, increased the gathering rate when working from farms and estates, but they have buffed it from 15% to 20%. Okay, but you've got to get it in age 4. Okay. You see a British flag. Yep, you see a British flag. And it's to do with the it's to do with the Brits. Okay, yeah, I thought it was to do with the Japanese for some reason. I'm just being stupid. Well, this change to Aztec mining is largely aimed at Aztec mining. In addition to its normal benefits, the card now converts the wood cost of the slinger and coyote runner to coin. It's largely aimed at making these units trainable in treaty once all trees have been exhausted. So a treaty adjustment there. So maybe Aztecs might be a choice to try out in treaty if you want to go slinger coyote runner. Okay. They're going to be paying close attention, obviously, to the impact on supremacy matches. Do you know what I find annoying is that they give you this information, but why can't we see this yet? Why can't we see this information? They're saying to us that they're near top of the 1v1 rank ladder as the Aztecs, who have maintained a high win percentage since launch. Can you just show us this info? Why can't we see it? I'd love to see it. I'd love to see stats of, like, on the rank ladder, what's the highest win rate? What's the lowest? You know? What's the best for on a certain map? You know? Like, Age of Empires 2 has that. StarCraft has that. Dota obviously is a slightly different genre, but it has those sort of stats. I just want to see it from Age of Empires 3. You know, that's one of my gripes at the moment, is a lack of stats. Anyway, I digress. Let me just have a quick swig. So Alex saying that Aztec is garbage in your opinion. I think overall it's definitely had a buff, both to treaty and to supremacy. So yeah, it might change things. Aztec is indeed strong, says Mouse. Right, the British upgrades. The Imperial Longbow now grants longbow of plus 0.25% to versus infantry for the 1.5 times total. Sorry, I'm being really stupid here. So basically, there's a buff of 0.25 multiplier to the heavy infantry. Okay, so that's sort of... Oh, that's age 5, though. Wow. Okay. Hi, Kenny. Welcome to the stream, dude. Chinese. Okay, here we go. Chinese. Okay, let me just scroll down to here. Here we go. The Chinese civilization. The Temple of Haven Wonder now awards the following units in each age. Okay. So they're actually... Whoa. Damn. That's a huge nerf. I mean, that is Imperial. Like, to be honest, when you're in a supremacy game, if you're looking at 1v1s, supremacy, you know, more treaty, I imagine. Treaty, that's going to hit you in treaty. But I don't know. I don't think that's a big issue to worry about. Units and buildings. War Academy corrected the line of sight of the building down from 34 to 12. Jesus. Damn. That's huge. Maybe that was a bug. Maybe that wasn't intended, but wow, okay, damn. Upgrades. German relations. So this is the consulate just for the German relations. Fixed an exploit where train units which were unable to spawn would refund more resources than they cost to initially train. Okay, interesting. Ooh, okay. I didn't know you can get these trickles from the German relations. I've never picked German relations in the consulate as Chinese. I don't know whether this would be more treaty. Having that trickle would be good for treaty or not. But moving it to age 1, age 2, age 3, it could be quite good. But I don't know the huge impact there. I don't know how substantial these trickles are. Whether they're the low trickle or the medium trickle, I'm not sure. But, you know, it is a buff. The new army reduced food costs from 500 to 400 food. Okay. That's significant. That's a 20% reduction right there. So, to be honest, I think overall, I think it's sort of even with China. You've got that line of sight, which is huge. You've also got the reduction here. I think overall, I think it's a slight buff to China. Not game-changing, I don't think. Dutch, right. This is one of my main civs. One of my main civs is the Dutch. So let's see what the hell's going on here. The Dutch. The Dutch. Civ. Increased the starting game mining bonus from 15% to 20%. Woo! That's a big percentage increase. You don't know it, but that's a 25% increase. No, sorry, a 33% increase. Jesus. That's big. But obviously you've got your banks, which are going to get your gold, but still, that's quite significant. This change should not only improve the Dutch early game, exactly, without making any adjustments to their starting resources, but aims to offer more strategic variety by boosting their coin income. Likewise, it should better allow for aggressive strategies, which involve delaying the construction of their banks. That's actually really good, because I actually was kind of sad that you can't really be offensive with the Dutch. You can't do it. You can't really be aggressive with the Dutch. I mean, there's probably some sort of pike sort of aggression that you could do, but being able to have that mining bonus could mean that, you know, you might only need to construct one bank, get people mining, and then boom, you can start getting out skirms. You can maybe get some cav out, and then you could try and pressure them in age 2. Could be a thing. You do get skirms in age 2. That's kind of big. That's big, isn't it? If you could try and use that in age 2, could be quite significant. Cards, Bank of Amsterdam and Rotterdam, in addition to increasing the build limit of the banks, both cards now also increase the settler build limit. Whoa! Oh, slow down. What? That's huge. That is huge. That is absolutely massive. I mean, yeah, that's a treaty card, but I mean that's also a supremacy card though, right? Because you can easily get max settlers in a supremacy game as Dutch. That really improves their late game with that settler build limit there. That's big. I think that, yeah, big buffs for Dutch right now. So military reforms, whoa, has gone from age 3 to age 1. The change to military reforms should make it easy to include supremacy decks, allowing for more strategies built around the Dutch Royal Guard or early halberdiers unlocked via the logistician. So can someone remind me what military reforms are again? That's a really basic question. Does that mean you can get halberdiers in age 2 military reforms? Is that right? You get access to, I think you do, don't you? You get access to, yeah. Okay. So you could do some sort of age 2 aggression with halberdiers and skirms, maybe. Because you've got that increased mining, you know, and you could get the military reforms. I don't know, there could be something there. Some skirm halberdier aggression in age 2. How about it? Won't have much mobility, but high siege damage. The French, units and buildings. Oh, here we go. The cuirassier. Improvements are now calculated using the age 2 base stats rather than age 3. Oh, this shouldn't result in any notable difference to their strength during the Fortress Age, but will mean that they benefit slightly less from each upgrade. The Imperial Gendarme upgrade and French Consulate Gendarmes have been adjusted accordingly. Okay, so a little bit of a nerf there to the French from the cuirassier. Shouldn't be too much according to them, but you know. Age 2, not many civs have skirms. Yeah, exactly. Dutch could be quite strong there. Moving on to Germans, the Deutsch. We have settler wagons now obey rally points set at mills. Okay, that's good. Here we go. The Haudenosaunee. The addition of several training speed upgrades should make the Haudenosaunee more fun to play at all skill levels. Okay, particularly in the treaty game mode. Okay, upgrades. They are focusing quite a bit on treaty, even though they said at the start there that they're going to be looking at supremacy. They've got quite a bit on treaty. Upgrades, horse secrets, the corral big button. In addition to previous effects, the upgrade now also improves the training speed of cavalry by 35%. What? Wait, that's huge, isn't it? That's massive. Wow. 35%. 35%. That's big, surely. That's got to be big. Cards, new, War Hut Training. Oh, we've got a new card. The War Hut Training card. It improves the training speed of units by 35%. What? That's insane. That's nuts. You could really rush with this civ, especially with the War Hut Training. That could be a good card to rush with, or maybe not to rush, but definitely to start applying pressure like in the mid game. I don't know, that seems massive. I'm gonna give them a buff, man. That's definitely a buff. Oh, the Inca. Okay, here we go. Lots of green. Oh, actually, no, sorry, lots of red. Lots of red. Here we go. Take a swig because I am sort of getting a bit parched here. 1 second. Yeah, red for rip, indeed. So the Inca civilization. The following tribal council members have been adjusted. Chief has been moved to age 3 from age 2. Damn. Now only grants 1 travois as opposed to 1 travois and 1 building travois. Travois. Damn. That's a hit. The warrior card as well has been moved from age 3 to age 4. Now grants 8 as opposed to 8. Oh, Harukas. Is that Harukas as opposed to 8 bolus warriors? Okay, so the Harukas are the artillery units, I believe. Basically the artillery unit of the Inca. Okay, the wise woman from age 1 to age 2 now grants 3 priestesses as opposed to 2 villagers and 5 llamas. Interesting. Okay. Interesting to wonder whether or not. I mean, we definitely know that the first one, the chief, that's definitely a nerf, 100%. The warrior one, though, I'm not too sure about. I think it probably is. The wise woman, I'm not too sure because you've got 3 priestesses, and moving that into age 2 means that you could definitely get your community plaza. You could get your 3 priestesses rather than getting 2 villagers and 5 llamas. But to be honest, though, yeah, you could do a priest boom, but llamas act as priestesses, don't they, in Inca? You can use llamas the same as priestesses, so I don't know. Yeah. Priest boom. Yeah, Mouse, you know about Inca, don't you? You play Inca a lot. So are you saying that's a buff then? Let me know. I'm going to run through this. You let me know if it's a buff for Inca overall. Know that in future updates we may tweak the strength of the chief, which currently grants 2 builder travois. However, this would likely to be accompanied by other changes that ensure the overall early game strength of civilization is maintained. Okay. Units and buildings. Oh, the Chimmy Runner's got another nerf to him, reducing his speed from 6.5 to 6.25. Bolus warriors increase the speed. That's good because the bolus warriors, because they're anti-cav, they really struggle with trying to keep up with cavalry units. So from 4 to 4.25, I think is a good thing to do. Not huge, but you know, it's like a 6-7% increase. Kalanka now also supports 10 pop, similar to a house. Oh, that's good. So you don't have to use as much wood. But to be honest, though, you're going to be building canchers. So, but hang on, that supports 10 pop. How much pop can you get then with Inca? It's a weird one. Okay, I digress. Upgrades: the coca cultivation, the estate big button reduces the build limit of estates from 20 to 10, effectively having the maximum coin income. Okay, interesting. That's more of a treaty thing, I think. Definitely having that many estates. Cards: American allies. Usually you get 176 pop with 1 TC and all houses. Yeah, so that's going to make it easier, isn't it? If you build, you can build. What's the build limit on Kalankas? 2. You're going to get 20 potentially, and then you can also get them from TPs, can't you? I think so. Yeah. Cards: American allies no longer enables all Carib Mapuche and Zapotec units. Instead, you will now choose one ally who will then grant access to the units and unit upgrades via the native embassy. Okay, I'm not too familiar with the whole native embassy. You know, not going to lie to you guys. Armed fisherman age 2 now correctly grants a ranged attack to fishing boats. The dogs fixed the bug which prevented the attack of the Peruvian dog from being increased. 2-pack rebellion updated the tooltip. Okay. Oh, there's a nerf here to this card. Oof. The age 2 cards you get 2 priestesses has dropped from 2 to 1. Sustainability agriculture. The Inca no longer have access to this card. How much of an impact is that? I'm not too sure about this card. Let me know what this card is, what it's for. I'm not too familiar with that one. The Indians. Okay, so I've actually been maining the Indians. I say maining, yeah, maining. I've been playing them pretty much non-stop for the past week now because I really, really enjoyed them. I might move on to another Civ again, but the Indians, really, really fun to play. So let's see what's happening with those. Units and buildings. The Mansabdars, I can't never say that, halve the population cost of all Mansabdar units, which now use the same population space as their ordinary counterparts. Okay, good. The upgrades, the Exalted Sepoys, okay, increase the attack and hit point bonus granted to them from 50 to 60. That's really good. That's good for treaty. That's good for treaty. That's a 20% increase there from the 50 to 60%. You've got a 20% increase there from the original 50%. So that's good. I like that. That's very, very good. Good. Buff for India then. Japan, here we go. Alex, if you're still here, you might want to see this, good sir. Looking at Japan. Let me just take a swig and we will run through Japan. So, removed 100 food and added 100 coin to the Japanese starting resources. That is overall, I mean, that's got to be a buff, right? That's going to help you get your gather rate improvements, your gathering improvements a lot quicker from the market and stuff like that. You have got that reduction in food, but I don't know. There's a buff overall, I think. Upgrades. Dutch relations. Added a livestock pen wagon that can be used to create a livestock pen and obtain goats. These goats cannot be harvested by them, but may be tasked to shrines that have space for more animals. Interesting. This addresses an issue where in team games, allies could send Japan livestock animals that they could otherwise not obtain themselves. Okay. So that's more of a late game thing that you can still use, use the shrines effectively. Spanish relations. The Garochista no longer receive a shadow improvement in the Fortress Age. Okay. Cards. The Bakufu. In addition to its normal benefits, Bakufu now also slightly increases training speed of military units trained from buildings. Okay, that's a buff as well. Okay. So not too much on Japanese, but I think that the starting resources over there, I don't know, I think that'll be a buff, overall. With that 100 coin, that's quite nice. The Lakota, here we go. In team supremacy games at all skill levels, the Lakota are by far the most powerful civilization in Age of Empires 3. There you go. There you go. Joe, you're loving the Dutch buff. I know you are. Simmer down. Here we go. We're looking at the Lakota right now. They're by far the most powerful civ. These changes aim to reduce their overall strength, focus particularly on features that are more useful on larger maps and against greater numbers of opponents. Civ, removed 100 wood and added 100 coin. Community Plaza, changed how villagers scale the siege damage bonus granted by the fire ceremony. Here we go. Get wrecked. While the maximum possible benefit has been lowered to 150% siege damage from 200, the benefit starts at a slightly higher point than in previous builds. There you go. So, yeah, that's quite harsh, isn't it? And also, thank God, the Lakota War Chief reduced the speed bonus that it grants from 15 to 10. Thank the Lord. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous the amount of speed bonus that War Chief gave, like cav units. I think it was just ridiculous. So I think that's good. I think that's good what they've done, and we're going to see how that affects the amount of siege damage. I'm sorry, Kenny, your fun is over. Lakota has been nerfed. Get the hell out of here. I don't know if removing the 100 would... I think that's a nerf as well, because... I mean, removing 100 wood is quite significant, isn't it? Yeah, nerfs all round for the Lakota, I'm afraid. Okay, the Ottos. Okay, there's lots of civ balances. Really, really good here. Okay, so here we go. Fixed an issue where the production of citizens following a revolution and subsequent redemption of the citizenship card would take longer than normal due to the auto-training of Ottoman villagers. Citizens will now take 25 seconds to train, 70 coin, and have a build limit of 99 as intended. Okay, cool. That's good. Upgrades. New Order Infantry at age 3 is now moved to age 2, and that increased the training speed of heavy infantry from 15 to 20%. Wow. That's good. So potential to play in age 2 maybe as the Ottomans with that New Order Infantry card? I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, that's definitely good. The New Order Infantry, like if you do use that card to increase the training speed, I don't think I have it in my deck, to be honest. But, don't know. Might be viable now. 15 to 20%? Who knows? Especially that you're going to be getting Jans out quite a bit as well, which is good for your heavy infantry. Could be a good shout. Cards. Food silos. Card has been added as a home city shipment. Oh, wow. That's really good. Food silos is a good card. A good card for definitely team games and treaty games. That's going to definitely help the Ottomans out to potentially be viable as a treaty civ as well for better eco. So, nice. The ports. We like to encourage interactive map control based gameplay, and we are not fully comfortable with the Portuguese having access to the 7 cow shipment alongside their other civ bonuses. So they have now removed it. They've removed it. 7 cow remove. Damn. Nerf for the old ports there. Moving on to the Russians. Okay, we're back. The Russians. Okay, so the Russians are another one. Another civ that I play a lot and I enjoy playing. Let's see what the hell is happening with the Russians. These changes are aimed at boosting the Russian early game, good, and encouraging more fortress and industrial strategies while bringing them into line in team supremacy mode. Units and buildings. Blockhouse. Increase the pop supported from 5 to 10. Very, very good. We'll be paying close attention to the impact of the above change and will make adjustments as necessary, especially since it creates a new opening strategy where 50 wood can be collected and a blockhouse constructed in lieu of a house. Indeed. The Oprinic, oh no, reduced the siege damage from 75 to 64. We got some card changes here. So the Reformist Tsar reduced the cost of the westernization upgrade enabled at the church from 900 wood to 350 wood and 350 coin. Wow. Wait, which is the westernization card? Because someone remind me, that's westernization. Okay, so you can sort of upgrade all your units. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, Ransack. Moving on, Ransack. Now properly applies to grenade launcher attacks. Okay. The castramentation no longer allows for the construction of blockhouses by the explorer. This change is aimed at the treaty game mode. Okay. Engineering school has been added to home city shipment. Another treaty balance change. Unicorn mortars have been adjusted accordingly. Okay, so I think for me, for example, like these 2 items here are big for me. The Oprinic not having the siege damage, I mean, it's still high siege. It kind of sucks that it's been reduced, but increasing the pop here means that you don't have to build as many houses. So, as they say, you sort of save yourself 50 wood essentially. So you could do something around that. Very, very interesting. Moving on to the Spanish, this particular change is aimed at improving the Civ's win percentage in team games, which is abnormally low at all skill levels. To maintain the Civ's identity and the important role of the pikeman and rodellero, the Commerce Age cavalry upgrades have not been altered to improve the dragoons. Okay. So the cavalry combat now affects Spanish dragoons, not just hand cavalry. Nice. There's a buff there. Very good. The Swedes. Here we go. Here we go. The Swedes. The goddamn Swedes. Right, let me take another swig. Sorry, guys. I'm just really thirsty at the moment. The Swedes. Units and buildings. Torp. Reduce the maximum number of trees that can be harvested from 7 to 5. So that's a nerf. I mean, granted, torps, you don't really put them next to trees that much, but, you know. Increase the cost to build them from 125 to 135 wood. Ouch. Okay. Bit of a nerf there. The Carolian, they've actually corrected the unit's line of sight. Okay, so they've actually buffed the Carolian a bit. Okay. Dominions is now only available in Age 3. Damn. That's quite... So the Dominions give you the 4 torps. You can no longer get that in Age 2. You have to get that in Age 3. So it means that your eco is going to be a bit slower now in Age 2. And you're going to have to try and fast fortress into Age 3 potentially and then get your Dominions. The 8 crossbowmen, the Swedes no longer have access to the 8 crossbowmen. Damn. Woo. That means it's going to be more difficult to try and combat people rushing you in Age 2. Because that's what that card is mainly used for. It's mainly used if you've got pressure in Age 2 and you want to age up to Age 3, or you just want to boom a bit, you can use those crossbowmen. Or if you, as I say, you want to put pressure in Age 2, the crossbowmen are there. But that's quite a big hit for the Swedes, to be honest. moving on, random maps, the standard map set and the team map set. Okay, so they've removed quite a few and they've added a few different ones into the standard map pool. Malaysia fixed an issue where some players would not begin with their starting units in large multiplayer games. Okay. Lobbies and matchmaking. When playing custom scenario, the simulation turns default set by the scenario. Okay. Modding. We've implemented several major changes to the mod system. Okay. That's good. As I say, I'm not really interested in the modding system, so by all means, guys, have a quick flick through this and see if there's any huge changes that will be beneficial to you. Ongoing investigation. Here we go. The classic stuck units. We believe we have fixed for most of the root problems causing the issue. Once they've been tested and included in a build, the most valuable thing you can provide if you encounter it again is obviously to report it. The attack move optimization. A prevalent topic. The team is continuing their investigation. As expected in all circumstances, more updates to come. Oh, God. Can we get a decent update on the attack move? Like, it's so frustrating. Like, how complex is this problem? How complex? And obviously crashes, they're always looking into that, and disconnects and stuff like that, which is good. There haven't been as many crashes, to be honest. So they're doing a good job on that behalf. There are also a few known issues that are already on our radar. Steam invite issues. Okay, cool. And there we go. Got a few comments already on here. Thank you. Looks great. Thanks for all the changes. I think the changes to Aztec mining will have a huge impact on the way Aztecs play in longer matches. By the way, is there something we can get access to? More of the high resolution profile pictures you uploaded as a sample. This patch looks beautiful. Thanks for the improvements. Okay, so we've got some good reports from that. But there you go. There you go, guys. That is it. Oh. Easy. That is it. That is update 20322. We've done the run through. It's been quite a big run through, nearly 40 minutes of us going through it, but we've done it. All I can say to summarize it is that we've got some great UI changes, which is absolutely awesome. The Swedes have taken a nerf, quite significant nerf. The Haudenosaunee have taken a buff, which is good. And the Haudenosaunee have got a buff, which is great. And what else? Sorry, what else was it? 1 second. The Aztecs, I think, overall have got a buff. Near the top. Actually, no, the Aztecs had a nerf, sorry. The Brits had a good buff there. The Dutch, big buff for the Dutch. Big buff. So, yeah, so there we go, guys. So I hope you really enjoyed that little run through. I'm probably just going to leave it there, to be honest. I know it kind of sucks. But I am going to leave it here. I just came on to give you a quick rundown of the patch. I will be streaming at some point later on this week. As I say, you guys know what to do to support Widgie. And to support myself is via Twitch, through YouTube. And also feel free to check out my Discord channel. Link is down below. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are. And I will see you in the next stream. I'm sorry, we've got no gameplay today. I just don't have time to do it. I've only got about 20 minutes or so, and I've got food. So thank you very much, guys. I will see you in the next stream. Take care. See you guys later.